Hydrogen and helium. All atoms are constructed from these three subatomic particles: protons, neutrons, and electrons. Protons and neutrons are about the same mass as each other and are nearly 2,000 times heavier than an electron. Protons and electrons have equal and opposite electrical charges, while neutrons have no charge. Protons and neutrons can be thought of as being stationary in the center of the atom, forming its nucleus. Hence, they are called nucleons. The electron moves around so rapidly that its location is never certain. It forms an electron cloud around the nucleus. Almost all the mass of an atom is in its nucleus. As you'll soon see, this diagram is not to scale. Protons have a positive electric charge, electrons have a negative electric charge, and opposite electric charges attract, while similar electric charges repel each other. Almost all of an atom is empty space. Imagine an atom to be the size of a football stadium. Its nucleus would be the size of a pea, located at the center of the stadium. Any electrons in this atom would be too small to see. These electrons are constantly moving throughout the stadium. It is an amazing fact that atoms are mostly empty space. This was learned just over 100 years ago. Take a moment to consider this. Important to note, the empty space in atoms is not filled with air. Since air is made of atoms, so is too large to fit within atoms. This is also worth considering for a moment. The repulsion of the electron clouds within atoms, since negative charges repel each other, is what makes matter seem solid. When kicking a ball, it's the electrons in the ball interacting with the electrons in my shoe which provides the kick. Those electrons are also responsible for chemistry. Just for clarity, we want to point out that we will often use the terms atom and element interchangeably. An element is matter comprised of all the same atom. So the element hydrogen consists of only hydrogen atoms. One specific atom of hydrogen is a hydrogen atom. One or more atoms of hydrogen form the element hydrogen. Together, hydrogen and helium make up 98% of all the matter in the universe. Hydrogen makes up 74%, and helium makes up 24%. That only leaves 2% for the other 116 elements combined. Hydrogen is a colorless, odorless, highly flammable gas. Hydrogen atoms normally consist of two subatomic particles, one proton and one electron. At the beginning of the universe, protons and electrons came together to form most of the first atoms in the universe as hydrogen. Today, 74% of all the matter in the universe is still hydrogen. The atomic number of an atom is the number of its protons. So, the atomic number of hydrogen is 1. Every hydrogen atom has exactly one proton. If an atom has one proton, it is hydrogen. The symbol for hydrogen is H. We'll learn later that a hydrogen atom could gain or lose electrons and become a hydrogen ion. It could also gain neutrons and become a different isotope of hydrogen. An element is not defined by the number of its electrons or neutrons, but by the number of its protons, although a neutral atom will have the same number of protons and electrons. As long as an atom or ion has one proton, it is hydrogen. Helium is normally made of 6 subatomic particles, 2 protons, 2 neutrons, and 2 electrons. The atomic number of an atom is the number of its protons, so the atomic number of helium is 2. Every helium atom has exactly 2 protons. If an atom does not have 2 protons, it is not helium. If an atom has 2 protons, it is helium. The symbol for helium is He. Although helium atoms on Earth do not gain or lose electrons to form a helium ion, That does occur in the Sun's atmosphere at above 60,000 Kelvin. Helium can also have different numbers of neutrons to become different isotopes of helium. Atoms are not defined by the number of their electrons or neutrons, but by the number of their protons, which is equal to the number of its electrons in a neutral atom, but not in an ion. As long as an atom or ion has 2 protons, it is helium.